Welcome back to Just Another Melt on Just Another Melting channel. This is the final melt in the 3-part series where I melted down 4 large tubs or bins of crushed cans. Hence the pun at the beginning. So let's go over what was learned over the course of these melts while we watch me move in super fast speed. First things first, it is possible for me to melt in my garage, although currently it is not the safest, but that will be fixed by the time I need to actually melt in my garage because of the snow. Greatest snow on earth, haha. Second thing, let's not be sitting down with this furnace, all right? You can see that I've actually got this furnace propped up on 2 of the cinder blocks, raised it up, give it a little bit of height. That forces me to stand, and that way I'm standing, I've got a good angle on being able to plunge whether the lid is on or off. I was not sore at all after this melt. So not being hunched over on a chair and dealing with the heat on my legs and, bad posture, all of that good stuff. What else? Pouring. When it comes time to pour, keep the crucible as close to the ingot mold or tray in this case as possible. In this case, I'm using cinder blocks to keep it up above so I can dip the crucible down below and keep it as close as possible. You don't want your crucible far away, you don't want it up high. Some of these guys that you see on YouTube that I've seen, like especially guys that I really love their videos, like they're able to do it. I think another issue with that is that my crucible does not have a pouring spout. I don't know how much of a difference that makes. I may have to try to find a number 6 crucible with a pouring spout and do comparisons. Probably not going to do that for a little while though, because I've already spent a lot of money on this quote-unquote hobby. But yeah, I'm sure that has something to do with it. Getting back to the subject, so keep it as close to the ingot tray as possible. I have taken to cleaning out my crucible after every single pour, scraping off the sides, trying to get some of the dross and ash and all of that really bad stuff out, and even pull a little bit of aluminum out of that to pour in an extra like small muffin tray, things like that. I know there are some melters out there who don't do that. I guess I'm not sure if it's a recommended thing or if it's just a matter of personal preference. I'll have to look into that. And then fluxing. Using the Morton Light Salt to flux seems to have made some great results for me. A lot of the dross and slag that I was pulling out was just this really charred black stuff compared to my earlier melts where you had a lot of aluminum attached to it. So over the course of these melts, yeah, I did learn quite a bit, and I'll be doing a summary video where I kind of talk about everything in general over the course of all the melts I've done. Maybe something that'll help somebody who's starting out, give them some tips or things to watch out for and be aware of. The differences between charcoal and propane. Hopefully it helps somebody out there. I've been a teacher since I've been teaching since I was around 12 or 13 years old, so that's kind of in my nature to say, what can I do to help? What can I do to help somebody else learn from my experience? And as I mentioned earlier, yeah, I was a driver's ed teacher for 10 years, so that was like a huge aspect of my life. So teaching is just one of those things I'm doing. Hopefully you guys can learn from what I was doing. How many times do I have to say that? Wow, I'm rambling. I'm just going to stop for a minute. One of the things you'll notice on this video, I am not speeding up any of the video footage from the actual pour. I want you to see how slow I'm taking it, so you can see, like, trying to be precise. There's no need to freak out and try to get it poured as soon as possible. You'll have time. Your aluminum won't cool down inside the crucible unless it's like winter time. When I first started melting in February, that was happening, but I also wasn't getting my crucible as hot as I can get it now. So take your time on the pour. So this piece I've been using to kind of contain the heat. I was under the impression it was cast iron, and it was cast aluminum because it completely melted when I had it over the top, as you see. So yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that down and melt it on another melt, and then figure out what I can do to help conserve heat, because I want to keep the exhaust port open, so I can push cans through there, because it makes it so much easier, and it keeps me from burning on my legs and stuff. But yeah. Sometimes I really hate listening to my voice. I feel like it sounds so nasally when I hear it. So I'm gonna try and talk in a deep voice like this, so that way I sound like a man. Yeah. Little humor. Maybe. Ooh, very thin layer.
Yeah.
All right, so again, final pour. And you can see, again, I'm gonna take this as slow as possible, because you're dealing with molten metal. That is really hot going in.
That's what she said!
Hun, I'm trying to be a professional.
Come on, it's funny.
Okay, I guess I'm just leaving this in at this point.
That's what she said!
I'm so sorry, y'all, but I'm not deleting this. I'm keeping this in the video. You just totally threw me off. I can't even enjoy the pour now. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break from narrating. I'll be back after this. Okay, I just had a real dumb out moment where I was looking at that going, that's all I got out of this entire melt, not realizing that, oh yeah, there's that over there. So there you have it. The final setting of ingots for future casting projects. I have so much now I actually have to move these because that tray table was getting pretty wobbly. It looked like it was about to collapse. So, in the meantime, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were entertained at the very least. And feel free to stop by again on the next post. Thanks to everybody who donated cans for the 3 videos, for the 3 melts. That was the 1 melt or the 3. I don't know. I'm tired. I very much appreciate it. It's all I've got right now. So thank you again. Join me on the next one or not. Totally your choice. And be safe.